Hey, Rocket Crockett, what's going on? This is Indy Rishi Singh, and I am grateful to start this amazing show, episode 1, coming to you, Contra Costa County at CCTV Live. We are going to be creating sound vibrations through the airwaves, balancing the air element in all kinds of cool ways. And we're gonna connect and play all kinds of games so that we can realize a new way to behave. Come on and join the show in all the different ways. And also, you can remember that might be a whole new craze. Thank you so much for participating in this cosmic journey that we call Crockett, Rocket Crockett. Whoa, this is that my knee? Whoa, are these my knees?
Beautiful. On December 21st, we hosted a Lakshmi Eco Fest, which brought together people from the community, people from the greater community in the Bay Area to talk about California donut economics, to understand how donut economics can support people and planet, while holding a lens, a holistic medical report about how our community is doing at the local, bioregional level. As well, this collaboration of various and coalition of various nonprofits, including Creek, Cultivating Self, California Donut Economic Coalition, and also the CCRCD, really leveraged the power of the people to plant over 100 lavender, while also educating the public about why this is important, as well as providing nourishment to all people who volunteered. There are free donuts, free coffee, as well as delicious, wonderful food that was catered by the Nourished Patient, which is an organization that provides healthy meal prep to folks coming out of the hospital or anyone needing healthy meal prep to improve their health. This collaboration included live music and DJing. There was a lot of laughter. There was a Tai Chi to kick things off to ensure that people could be fully in their body and connected to their body before they did work with the land. There was also discussions around economics, donut economics to be specific, but also about regenerative economy, about how we can be more impactful with local civic engagement. This collaboration also was intergenerational and intercultural. We discussed the importance of Lakshmi and the idea of Lakshmi when it comes to money and it comes to the currency flowing and not being dammed up, especially considering that there are large grants that are going out to the community in the next couple of months and next few years that are intended to help improve community well-being, to improve also natural and nature-based well-being and the nature's well-being as well. This collaboration also brought together various community members that have actively been doing great work in the community, but oftentimes are overlooked or not supported. The intention of this gathering was also to reimagine how we support each other in coalition, to acknowledge the different various skills that are brought together by the different organizations and the different community members. One of the most beautiful things about this gathering was that people joined who were just walking by and they heard the music and they heard the people and they decided to come over. They were going to the dog park and they really enjoyed being able to come and join this. The kids really enjoyed it. The community enjoyed it. It was a great practice of people coming together in a meaningful, intentional way. And we look forward to hosting more of these. So keep your eye, ear, mind, spirit, body, heart on the lookout for these kind of events, and come and join and enjoy and participate in ecotherapy as well as community empowerment. Maybe for the town of Crockett too. Right? So can you explain more about what you do and how that we need to connect to our body and to practice something healthy. So the invitation is for you to get a squat, come down and squat down, and if you can, the best you can. Squat, sometimes it helps to have a seat, and so just take a moment to be able to squat and relax and feel good in this position. And as we're relaxing and coming down, we're just taking some breaths. Sometimes you can put your hand on the ground if you need to, or you can do a little bit of, you kind of, maybe move around or kind of like move in circles.
around. And so if that feels better, it's an opportunity to be able to connect to the way that we are kind of like, it's really helps us kind of connect to the bottom of our spine, right? We call it, in the Indian culture, we call it the Muladhara, but it is the base of the spine, the coccyx, right? But really it's kind of practicing this sitting is really important. This is actually how most people have pooped, throughout history, right? So that we're kind of coming back to the way that we used to be, sitting like this, being like this, taking a moment. You start to feel in your knees too, so this is good to strengthen the knees as well. And if you want, I got my hands, in between my legs right here, kind of pushing outwards. So it kind of helps, kind of gives a little bit of more tension. Some of us might be able to do it at different levels. So do it whatever's comfortable, obviously. And then if you really want to do, you can really get really creative and you can start to kind of go even more, and you can start to fly a little bit if you want to fly, right? And like a flying carpet, right? Or flying yoga mat. And you can come down and relax and take some moments, say hello to the earth. Thank you, earth. Thank you to the planet for holding us down. Thank you to the sky for connecting us to breath and possibility. And thank you to everything in between. And thank you to Crockett. Here we are, making it an awesome show. This is an opportunity for us to connect to what it feels like to be a part of a project where we examine and explore Crockett and all the ways that we rock it in Crockett, but also paper, rock, scissors, and okay, I don't want to, that's a silly joke. But really, it really is important for us to start to understand why it's important for us to love where we live and to share about stories about where we live, but also be creative and share the different ways that people interact and connect in the community, connect with nature, but connect with people, the different kinds of businesses people are doing, the nonprofits that are happening in the community, the events that are happening in the community. In fact, it was beautiful. Just recently, I had the opportunity to be able to go to the local city hall meeting, which was fantastic. So let's take a quick look at that. And we're going to be seeing who the mystery guest for today will be. So we're going to play some vibrations and see who comes in through the vibrations. All right, here we go. What? Nick, you're here.
Hello.
Whoa. Here, spin that around. Spin it. Whoa. Nice, dude. What? What's going on, Nick?
Not
Welcome.
much.
Welcome to Crockett.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're the first guest.
Am I?
Yeah.
What an honor.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that you deserve to be a part of this because you play such a pivotal role for the community.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Wait. So you've been the president of the council, CCSD.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Crockett Community Services District.
Oh man, that's a whole.
Yeah.
So that's a city?
It's an unincorporated community And we run the sewer system and the rec department for Crockett and Port Costa. They're small little towns in the East Bay.
Whoa. So, okay. So you're kind of like the mayor. We're the mayor.
Yeah. The closest thing we had to a mayor.
Right.
You know, I had to balance, you know, the requirements of the district with the community and represent the voters.
So in a way, how would you explain what is the medical report for CCSD? Like how do you feel? How are we doing?
We're doing really great. You know, I think communities everywhere felt the effects of COVID, and when I joined a couple of years ago, we were still feeling that, and so we were over the last couple of years bringing in more community members, restarting some of our activities. And building a community.
Yeah, and I would even say there's almost like I noticed there's a wave of fresh energy, like new ideas. You know, I think Jenna is now the general manager.
Yeah, she
right?
will be. Jenna Goodman is going to be the general manager at our January meeting.
Right.
Fresh new eyes, and she's an amazing leader with vision. And not only that, we have a lot of new volunteers, a lot of younger people getting involved, which is great to see. And we need that. If we need the new ideas, the world is changing more than ever.
Totally.
So that's awesome.
So I went to the meeting the other day, and I like to go to a lot of the meetings. It's kind of like torture, right? Going to these cities, any city. I feel like any bureaucratic meetings are like in a way, what is it called, masochistic or something?
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, the meetings are long, but like this is part of being a representative democracy, right? You have, as a voter, you have your responsibilities, your life, your families, and you vote for people to go attend these meetings for you, and you trust that they will represent your values. You know, that's what we do.
Yeah, and I feel it's also important to I wonder where can we go when it comes to the way we do these meetings. I've been thinking about, because I'm a part of a lot of spiritual and well-being communities and different, even farming communities. There's like a way meetings happen in those places where it's like feels so good, like everybody feels great. But like, how come the bureaucratic spaces are not like? And how can we make them more like that? You know?
You know, I don't know if there's an easy way to do that, or if that's the purpose. But I think they're undeniably serious meetings. There is a lack of community in them. I think there's that understanding for the people that have been there a long time. But even if those meetings where we're having deep discussion about finances and, you know, sewer spills,
where the poop goes, right? What's happening to the poop, right? And the water.
These are the seeds for probably other meetings where we can have that, right? Like town halls, for instance. These are more open, more community building activities where people who aren't involved in the dollars and cents can come in and share their ideas, and we can celebrate our shared purpose.
We just can't have more than a quorum.
Can't have more than a quorum.
A few guys, like the council members.
Yeah,
right?
no, the Brown Act is a real.
Why is it brown, bro? That's messed up. Like, why is it gotta be brown? Like,
yeah,
I'm brown, okay? Why
I mean,
can't it be rainbow?
we have enough white things. It's sad we have some brown things.
Fair enough. Okay, if we're gonna make sure people don't collude, at least let it be brown, okay?
People of Colored Act.
People of Color Act. I like that. Rainbow Act. I like Rainbow Act.
Rainbow Act is great.
You know, but yeah, thank you for saying that. I think that's important. Like how, as a community, it's a responsibility for us to be able to create those spaces that maybe is not allowed for y'all to do. And there's like limitations for people in the government when you're in public service in any way. Certain things where you can't do, right?
100%. In a lot of ways, our hands are tied, and when it comes to bringing new ideas and change. And so sometimes a group of community members that aren't elected, but they're just passionate about a certain thing, they can go and work on things without those restrictions, and then come give me a call, like, hey, we've been working on this, you know, can we come to your meeting and give a proposal? That it's a lot easier for community members to do that. And so I encourage that.
That's funny you said that, because I did that. I went to one of the lighting and landscape meetings. I was like, can I do a presentation about regenerative landscaping? And so I got to like come back to the next meeting. I did a whole presentation about like regenerative farming, power, doing solar panels and doing pollinator habitats underneath and helping to build back the prairie that we have behind us. And it was awesome. Like everybody loved it. And it was like, oh, this is a great idea. Like, it was very easy actually.
It's great. And I think there's a huge opportunity for collaboration there because, on the other side, the community can be more open-minded. They can explore more ideas, and then they can bring it to us, and we can do the hard stuff of like, oh, how can we find grants? You know, what sort of regulations do we have to deal with? Other partners in the community. And so there's a role for everybody, from me as an elected official, community members, even younger people in high school. I think everybody should get involved.
Totally. And yeah, that's definitely civic. I feel like it's like funny, with civic empowerment, there has to be civic imagination, you know?
100%. We can get stuck, focused on certain things. If you like, fiscal responsibility is a good thing, but if you
that just like made me shook me right there.
If you do that, over everything else, then it ends up working against itself, right? You deferred maintenance means that the cost of repairing our sewer system is going to go up over time, right? So we need to spend money. We need to invest in our people. We have 5 permanent employees at the district. And finding the balance there is really important.
So I'm curious, what is, if you could give any recommendations to the public and the community, like folks are listening here, because I feel this is also going to be seen and watched by people outside of just the Crockett, Port Costa, Verona area, right? It's gonna,
yeah.
So what is the encouragement? Like, what are you calling in?
This is... There's a couple approaches. The first approach is, if you just want to get involved in your community, figure out who your elected official is and just contact him and say, I want to be involved. Like, how can I do that? That's the first approach. And they'll have a long list of things. Trust me.
It looks like you have experience of that.
Yeah. The second thing is just connect with other people in your community. Figure out what issues there are in your community. Maybe there's a pothole that hasn't been fixed in 5 years, and it's like no one's bothered to report it. Finding those, but other things, regenerative,
anything.
It's like maybe like some of the trees have died in town, and we want to. That's not nice to look at. Can we do some landscaping around town? That's a problem. If you and with some other people find a solution to that, then bring it to your elected official. Those are the 2 main approaches, I would say.
Cool. Even as you're saying that, I can't help but recognize, even my short time living in the community and participating in different ways, there actually is a lot of like cross-department collaboration. Like even us being here right now in the CCTV, you guys, the way you collaborate, I just want to honor the way you, and then there's like the East Bay Regional District and CCRCD, and there's so much.
There, in Crockett specifically, we have a lot of community organizations that have been around for a long time.
That's true too, yep.
And that's something that was hurt in COVID. Like, a lot of these groups got a little disconnected, and part of what I've been doing is bringing these groups together, getting them to talk, even understanding each other's roles. Each one of these groups has a different role. And then on top of that, Crockett is a small community in a larger community. Like I said, the county, the television station we're in right now is an amazing resource that people just don't know exists. And I learned about it because of my relationship to higher government at the county. So we need to pay attention to that and not get siloed in our little groups.
Yeah, I think that also makes me think about like, we're doing like a Lakshmi Eco Fest tomorrow, actually, with your brother, Creek and everything, Christopher Spinner and Dean, and helping out the eco restoration projects that are happening all around the town, right? And in that, we're celebrating Lakshmi. And Lakshmi, the energy of like abundance, of flow, the energy of, especially coming winter solstice. So, we're gonna dip and going back into the spring and everything. And for us to connect to this idea that actually we can create abundance where we are, like especially where we are. It's a pretty potent space. I mean, is it not, Crockett? I feel, spiritually speaking.
I think so, and I think that fits the spirit of the Crockett community very well. We have an identity that's perfect for building that. You know, but all of our organizations, including Creek, lend themselves very well to that sort of stuff. You know, Creek, for instance, they built the new middle school, and Creek designed and helped plant the school garden and made sure that it was focused on native plants and education. You know, that's something I think is unique to our community. And
we have so much potency too, because I feel like even at the waterfront, it's like, whoa, this waterfront's gonna be amazing. Wait till we, I'll put our work towards it and effort towards it.
Yeah, and some of these things take a long time, but it's worth the work. Yeah. You know, we used to have a harbor with boats at our bass club in town, and you know, the conversation is now like, how can we bring that back? You know, and not just bring in that infrastructure, but get the community to come out and use it. Yeah. And I know they will.
Yeah. And benefit from it. I feel we also are at this pivotal moment where we need to be a little bit more focused on localized wealth. Like localizing economics, right? It's so critical, so it's resilient too. So we're not like, everything's not coming from far away, and workers are not coming. Like, what about people in the community having employment in the community? More of that, right?
We do have a lot of people that live in town and commute. You know, we live in the Bay Area, but we're a small town, and local business is really important. We have some amazing restaurants that people come from other communities to Crockett, you know, it's to the dedication of these business owners and entrepreneurs bringing the small business into town, and we need to support that, and they'll support us with jobs.
Actually, yeah, I want to give that pop out there too, because there is a downtown Crockett, which is pretty, amazing. There's all these like stores popping up. Some of them are really cool, like the Cat Vintage place and the 7th Street with the skateboard.
Yeah,
homies.
Well, and we've had a mixture of old businesses that have been around for decades and new businesses and how they're working together and create kind of this unique culture that you don't see anywhere else.
It's awesome. I love it. Okay, so before we close this thing, I'm going to share this. This is a regeneratively grown sandalwood from Hawaii. What does CNH stand for?
It's California and Hawaii.
Okay, right. So we got a California-Hawaii connection in Crockett, right? So this is a cool little oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put it on our little over here. We're gonna leave you with a nice smell, so when you go back to your government job,
yeah,
you like take and rub it and smell it. And if you want to put it in your beard, you can put it in your beard.
This is perfect for a beard. I use an Amish beard oil, and it smells just like this.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, then we'll leave you one more thing. We got these. We always leave our gifts with a little bit of a tarot. You heard of tarot?
Yeah.
But it's not like anything crazy with tarot. It's more kind of more about just like it's like a game of being like how's the rest of your day? Maybe what is the rest of your the experience you're having today, but maybe even the winter solstice and all this stuff. What's the vibe? So here, give it a nice little tap. All right. Pick a card, any card. It's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. It's a lucky day. All right, what does it say?
It's an ace of spades.
No, it's an ace of spades.
Just kidding.
What does it say?
Water dragon, manifesting your dreams.
What is that? How does that feel?
You show the people. Ooh. That feels amazing. I am a very big picture, forward focused person. I'm constantly thinking about the things I want to accomplish and the change I want to create. So this is empowering and exciting.
What's the message underneath it?
So manifesting your dreams.
Manifesting your dreams. Yeah. All right. And we were just talking about the dock and the water.
Yeah, we're talking dock. That's funny.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
And we need to utilize the bay and protect the bay. And on the other side, rising shorelines. We need to find a balance with the bay.
That's so true. I also love how this is like foggy, like it is. It is.
Yeah. Okay. We were just talking about the fog. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for playing the game. Yeah, here, let's gong back out of here. Right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Did you hear that? What is that? Huh? I can hear something. I hear voices. What? What is that? Huh? Hello, hey! Hey! How you doing? Ka! Ka! Hi, I'm Mr. Corn. Ka! Ka! Did you know that it's time for you to eat corn? Ka! Corn is good for you, but only if you get corn that's regeneratively grown. Ka! Ka! Yes, that's correct. You have to make sure you compost properly. Make sure your compost is done the right way. Make sure you don't till your soil. Put things back on the soil so that it can regenerate. Ka? Ka? And then also, wait, hold on. Are you listening? You gotta make sure you compost. Okay? Ka? Ka, ka, ka. Okay. And it's also important that whenever you're doing regenerative corn, that you make sure that you thank the earth and you thank all the animals and all the decomposers. Ka, 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 ka. That's correct. This is one of the best ways that we've been caring for the earth in all the different ways. And I am really grateful to be friends with you, Mr. Crow. Ka, ka. What? That was weird. I could have sworn that I heard something about regeneration and something about composting and something. That was really weird. I don't know. Did you guys hear that too? I don't know. We're gonna have to keep listening to whatever that was. I mean, I always wonder like if there's like elements and animals and like plants and if like different things speak, like rocks, sometimes I feel like what if they actually speak to us? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just my imagination, or maybe it's your imagination, or maybe our imagination. Whoa, I don't know. Well, anyways, all right. I think it's amazing to be back in this reality and to be focused on what is reality. What is reality? I don't know. And it's really exciting for us to connect with all the different ways that people show up in our community. In fact, some of my favorite ways to find out how people show up in the community is by making a vibration and seeing who shows up. So just creating some sort of resonance and finding out who shows up. All right, so I wonder who we can call in now. Who should we call in? What, Charlie? Wow. You made it. What? How'd you get here?
Who summons me?
Wait, how'd you get here all the way from Texas? What?
These sound bowls travel really well.
Dude, what? You made it all the way from Texas? That's crazy. That's powerful.
Yes, I know. Well, I heard some flutes, so I was like, hey, Indy must be calling me. So he must be summoning me. And so I got onto my bowl and made my way here.
It's pretty awesome. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're here because there's a lot happening.
There's so much happening. So much happening.
But before we do anything, should we do an astrology card?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Hold on. So Charlie, why do we do these kind of things? Why?
This is a kind of really great way to actually connect to what we call the overall intelligence, right? The cosmic intelligence, right? Because a lot of people love to talk about how coincidences are scientific and they have to have a purpose. What if there's no purpose, but rather just feedback loops from the cosmic universe, right? And so the idea of working with any kind of what we call divination tools like tarot, like oracle cards, like playing cards,
Right,
is like a way to actually communicate communicate with the Joker of the universe, right? With the, with the Joker of the universe, who is like, making things fun. So
it's funny that you say that, because like there's actually significant research that proves that what you focus on, when they do experiments, when scientists focus on the results, like including probability results, just like simple probability experiments, focusing on the result makes it happen more, increases the probability one way or the other, like heads or tails. By just focusing on the thing, it actually changes the probability. So literally, our focus and concentration is altering reality.
Exactly, yes. And even in traditional Eastern medicine, right, actually attention moves energy. So you pay attention internally, you're moving energy internally.
Whoa. Okay, you ready to pick this thing, right?
Yes,
all right,
hit it.
Hit it hard, hit it. Boom, all right.
Access my attention here.
Pick a card, any card. It's your birthday. It's not your birthday, but it's your cosmic birthday.
Yes, every day is my cosmic birthday. Ooh, water dragon.
What? Wait, hold on. Was that the set? That was also the same card?
Yes, but it's also, I know, right? We just had someone on, but check it out, what I'm wearing too.
Whoa, you're wearing a water dragon.
This is the water dragon card.
You want cosmic stuff?
Yes, right?
That's cosmic right there. That's
manifesting your dreams, which is also really amazing because we are getting close to the end of the Year of the Dragon.
Oh.
Yeah, this has been the Year of the Dragon in traditional Eastern philosophy or Eastern traditions.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so really, like, how's your dragon year been?
Ah.
Yeah, and dragon energy is actually that forceful energy that is a leader that is coming from the darkness and really showing everybody how to step up as leaders, have strength, has power, right? And I think this year has shown that a lot more leaders has needed to come up while we are going through this, like you said, there's a lot going on in the failing of systems that we believed worked for us. And today I think the new leaders are coming up saying, hey, this isn't working for us. The dragon energy of what we call the East is rising and saying, hey, this is not working. We're now bringing a new way of living.
Yep, exactly. It's funny because there's almost like a call being made for not just manifesting our dreams, but also being very particular about what we talk about, what we partner around, where do we put our energy towards, what are we putting our focus and our energy into? Like, are we imagining into that the dream that is actually safe and abundant and full of possibility, or is it something? Are we spinning what's the cycle?
The old. We're repeating the old loops, right? And I think what's beautiful about using water energy and the dragon to manifest dreams is going back to this idea of flow. Yeah. Well, we talked about this with the idea of currency, where actually currency is a sea of water, it's a sea of emotion that moves us to actually value things and pay for each other or pay for services. And so what's happening now is I think it's trying to get us to actually flow more abundantly. And I think what's happened is because of the fear, because of the scarcity, the flow has stopped. So it's almost like we're damming rivers. Totally. Instead of letting the river or the flow of our energy move.
That's literally, and even what you're saying is kind of also connected to our health, like human health, right? Like literally, if you think about like cancers, right, and you think about tumors, these things are literally, I mean, scientifically speaking, they happen from plaque building up. Or like there's metastasis of cells that stop working the way they're supposed to working, like they become parasitic, toxic cells, kind of like how humans can become like that, or any system, any animal in the system, right?
Exactly.
But like, a lot of that happens from the damming, the movement energy, the movement of blood, the movement of interstitial energy, like nutrients and white blood cells. And I mean, there's all these highways in our body and energy channels. But if you want to take energy channels, what's another way to say that? Like scientific, so people are like, oh, okay, that it is. Because like people go like energy channels, like energy, but it's like, wait, our whole world is at war over energy.
Yeah, exactly. And even just the idea of our bodies, right? Some people say, well, is it like thermic energy? Is it electrical energy? Is it water energy? Why do you need to differentiate? And this is where I think what's interesting about the West, they love to differentiate and label so that you can kind of remove that from the equation. But again, like you don't remove factors out of a collective equation because you're missing the entire collective.
Exactly.
Right? And I think when you say like energy, what is it any of these three? It's all of them and some more that we don't understand, right? Because now you're saying interstitial was never a thing before because we thought, oh, it's just the glue that connects everything. And yet today we find out that the glue that connects everything to each other is the most important piece. We are in community because there's an invisible glue that connects each of us.
Yeah, it's interesting too because then we start getting into like the concepts of like
foods, but we're abundant in time. We're abundant in sitting at home, spending time with each other more closely because it's so cold outside. Versus in the summer, like everyone wants to go outside and play.
Totally.
So it's much harder to come.
But you could study in the winter.
Exactly.
You can write. You can create art. You can create ideas. You can create plans.
And this is a lot of reflection that you're having during the year feeds your imagination during the winter, right? So this is what actually, if you notice, even in the idea of geography of towns, we in Vietnam grew in the north, middle, and south. I'm sure India has that version. And so what happens in the north, we tend to have actually times where it gets cold. So people come in, and what happens is people become studious. More time to study, more time to reflect. But in the South, like I'm sure you've experienced in South India, everyone's always out and about having fun. They love having fun, love dancing, love singing, but not enough time for reflection.
Yeah, that's why the Himalayas is so famous because people go out there to go find themselves.
Exactly.
Because now you don't have to connect to the heat. It's not hot, so you slow down, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Slow down. Yeah. You notice how this always, like, even when we say in TCM, we say, where do we get acupuncture? Where do we get our ancient tradition? We will usually say, old men go up mountain. Old men come down later with knowledge. Okay, that's it. That's all they got. You know, and so there's this irony that, like, we keep sun in Capricorn. Capricorn, the goat, climbs the mountain. When everything is now settled, right? Everything's cold and nothing's moving in nature. So we internalize and then come down during the spring with new knowledge. Right?
Is a bad goat.
Exactly. And that's why we talk about the sheep and spring coming out because now we are trying to manifest the thoughts that we came up with during the winter.
Oh, dude. The king goat.
The king goat comes down.
So speaking of which, you bring up, like Capricorn and astrology. One of the cool things that, that I love about what you do is gamifying what ways that we can improve ourselves, right? Like and connecting games to improving our psychology, improving our health and well-being, improving our way that we relate with other people, gamifying that. So did you bring something that you created? I think you...
And then right in the middle here is where the stars are, and the celestial planet. So here, Capricorn, sun is in Capricorn.
Is that today's?
This is today's astrology. So you can see, you can play with anyone who wants to learn what is going on in the planet. So you can see the sun is in Capricorn here, right? So it was here a day ago, and now we're moving into Capricorn energy. And so I can move the sun here. We have here Saturn in Pisces, and Jupiter retrograding in Gemini over here. So what you can see is each of these zodiac houses, if I put them down right here, have a corresponding tarot deck, right? So each of these tarot deck have 30 cards. So there's a total of 360 cards, which is 360 degrees of astrology. And so it was a way to kind of give people an ability to understand what astrology was, but in a way play with it. So earlier we pulled tarot cards, right? And in the element of the Chinese 5 elements, but this time we get to pull cards with the 12 houses. So it's a way for us to pull the energies of today if we wanted to kind of understand what's going on with today.
So how would you play this now? How would you play this game right now if you were to...
Yeah, so if I was playing with you guys right now, I would just do it as a simple reading. I would say everybody, basically you and I can pull this, but we're pulling now cards from today's date, right? And in the game you can play it with other people where 2 people are pulling cards and they're taking turns maybe pulling cards that is more impactful to them. So today what we'll do is we'll pull 1 card here from Capricorn. Nice. So it is 30 degrees Capricorn, which is Saturn. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And so this is one way to actually learn astrology, right?
Wait, can we see it?
When you learn, and this is just a draft. This is not a final picture, but you can see the Saturn picture. Saturn and Capricorn is an earth sign, so you can see here, I like the idea of creating mana. So you are actually creating mana, or you're accessing mana from this planet. And so here, this is Saturn. We pulled it from Capricorn here. And then the Bulls, right?
Michael Jordan, you know,
exactly.
played on the Bulls.
Exactly. So this is kind of how we're able to, everyone is able to kind of connect with astrology that isn't so difficult, because constantly when I do a lot of different classes, I've changed my classes, I've made it easier, made them simpler, and a lot of times people always say it's just too much to remember. So, you know, but what I feel is actually more interesting is that the high school kids would actually pick this up faster. And actually, I want the next generation of, I think, young adults to be able to understand their astrology so that they're tuning into the work they love to do.
Yeah, and I feel sometimes it always comes down to language. So like, how do we communicate this, that this is psychology? This is just like psychology, a different perspective of psychology that allows us to connect to the stars and like the planets and the sun and the moon, but in a way that's it's a game. Like, you know, like you don't it doesn't have to be like, oh, this is hard science. This is actually warm science. You know, it's like, oh, it connects us to our like consciousness. It connects us to our history. It connects us to mythology, right? And it also like builds a culture around like studying oneself.
Yes.
Right?
And what's really powerful too is this is beyond cultures. Actually, in many cultures, many of us looked at the stars and got messages from the stars. And our environment is the reflection of what's going on in the stars too. And so all cultures actually had a version of reading the stars. Today we call them myth, today we call them astrology, or this mythical, magical things that today it's considered magic because we forgot how it works.
Totally.
So now it's considered magic. But, you know, in the sciences of today, once we can see how things work, it's no longer magic, it's technology.
Right.
So this is an ancient technology that allowed us to connect and speak to the stars.
All right, everybody, it's been awesome to have you on Rocket Crockett. Keep watching. There's ways to connect on social media. Make sure you like and subscribe through YouTube. But also, this show is going to be happening regularly. It's going to be an opportunity to tune in to all the different ways, the things that are happening in Crockett, the things that are happening all around Crockett, whether it's the rest of Contra Costa County or maybe some nearby counties as well. There's going to be a lot of awesome opportunities for us to play with sound and play and connect with different people. And maybe even you might even come and join the show at some time. And most important than anything else, this is an opportunity for us to reimagine civic engagement so that it is about connecting with people and connecting to stories and us creating new stories together about the places that we care about, the places that we live.